Hello everyone, welcome to Moon Mage. These tarot readings today are all about past life energy and how it may still be affecting us today, whether for good or for ill. So we're going to look at some of the energies that we may still be carrying from the past that have acted or are acting as blocks. It's sort of like no matter how hard we try, I can't seem to release myself from this, or I get really stuck here. And I don't know why. I just keep going over this and over this. It could be because it's so deep rooted. It's coming from a past life where there was trauma and a block was created. Conversely, we will also look at some potential talents, gifts, and skills that you may have from the past, from a past life, that want to be manifested or brought out more fully in this life. So give yourself a second to look at the thumbnail, see which of the images of the 4 images you're drawn to, and I will get started here with message number 1. Hello, message 1. So we're going to have a look and see what types of energies from past lives may still be affecting you now, along with some hopefully guidance and advice that will help you navigate those energies so that you can disconnect from them and connect more to the powers of those times or the talents, skills, and gifts that you may have had at those times. Okay, we've got knighthood at the center. Interesting. And you know, knighthood, the first thing I always think of is loyalty and sacrifice. So those could be 2 energies that you are in or that you deal with on a regular basis. Where to put your loyalty, maybe needing to question where you put your loyalty, and where you're making sacrifices that are healthy and the ones that are not so healthy. But we'll see what else comes out with that. Ooh, okay, persecution and inquisition. Okay, so this could be something that you experienced in a past life, being persecuted for whoever you followed, whoever you were fighting for. It could also be that you were somebody who had to persecute others, you know, in the name of somebody else, a king, a leader of sorts. Ooh, okay, Native American. So there's some sort of connection to Native American culture as well here for my message 1 choosers. You know, what comes to my mind is wars and battles, tribal fighting and, you know, division around tribal lines. And there was persecution and inquisition as a result of that. But knighthood too. So there could be more than one life showing up here where you've been a loyal, faithful servant to some sort of leader or a power that was, where you had to make a lot of sacrifices. You would have likely had to sacrifice having a family, sacrifice your own wants, needs, and desires in the name of somebody else, fighting for somebody else's cause. So you could grapple in this life, or struggle rather, with the idea and concept of being faithful or loyal to any one thing, or conversely, you could find yourself being overly loyal and committed and in service of somebody else's dreams, desires, rather than your own, because it's so ingrained and innate into your nature and culture to do that, to give yourself over to service, to make sacrifices for others. We'll see what else comes out with this to see how it might be manifesting for you, but these are just some energies that come with these kinds of past life cards and energies that show up for you. Again, this could be, I don't know if I said it already, but persecution and inquisition, this could be, you might have some fears around that, like you might struggle to speak up in some ways and stay overly faithful for fear of persecution. But also it could be that there's some sort of fear or anxiety around abuse of power and maybe not following along in a certain direction or directive, because you may be carrying in some way, shape, form, some guilt or remorseful, shameful energy, you know, below the surface about not wanting to rock the boat too much, not wanting to do anything that could potentially hurt somebody. Because in the past, if you were a knight and you're fighting for other people's battles, or you were in a Native American culture and maybe you were a warrior of sorts, you know, fighting for the chief, you know, through tribal lines and things like that, you could really be carrying that kind of heavy, remorseful energy, because you would have caused loss of life and things like that in past lives, you know, which would make sense for the times, but we can still carry an imprint of that. And it can manifest in our lives as kind of getting stuck in freeze mode or in fear of following our own guidance, following our own dream, being afraid to rock the boat, staying, again, overly loyal or committed to someone or something rather than our own selves. Let's look at and see what else comes out with that. These are newer cards and they're hard to shuffle. Too slippery. Okay, humans discovering fire, Africa. Wow, we've got another cultural time and place showing up for you guys. Activation. So this could be too that something about a lifetime in Africa is very activating you, especially as it's connected to passion and inspiration, because we've got fire energy here and activation as a result of that. But also that would be very much connected to Native American culture as well, with that, the concept of fire and the way that they viewed fire and how sacred it was for all things. There's something to this. It feels more positive in nature here for me, for my message one choosers. Something positive, something good, something powerful from these times that can be leaned into to activate you in a very passionate way, connecting to Africa. And I also think there's something to that in the Native American culture as well. Okay, we've got patience under the Bodhi tree, Northern India. Wow. We've got India, Africa, Native America. Lots of different places showing up for you, many, many lives. So it's interesting because this energy feels like one that might be really difficult for my message one choosers based on what's showing up here. I feel like it's a little bit of a call to action to cultivate this energy. And it seems to me that you've probably had a life where, again, one of sacrifice, you know, thinking of like the Dalai Lama and their followers and monks and things like that. They also give themselves over into in service of the Dalai Lama or whomever the leader happens to be, where they spend their life in silence. They live they sacrifice all kinds of material things and live a very simple kind of poor life, really, where they've given themselves over to somebody else's vision, right? Where they're spending their time in meditation. They're not eating much. They're cultivating and connecting and taking notes and keeping a record of these kinds of energies and the things that they're doing with meditation and following the Dalai Lama's teachings and things like that. It feels like that to me, like you have the capacity to do this. You've had a life like that, but I also feel like it's just reiterating how many lives you've had that have been in service to someone else's dreams, desires, vision. And I feel like this is showing up because it may be high time for you to start looking at your own desires, visions, what you want, and no longer making sacrifices on behalf of somebody else's war or dream or desires for power or whatever it happens to be, because you've got a lot of places where it feels like this may have shown up. I am feeling like this activation energy in Africa is more of one of a lifetime of empowerment, where you felt more like you were following what you desired, your passions, kind of a leader of sorts, you know, rather than being the one to fight everybody else's battles and being loyal to their dreams and visions, et cetera, et cetera. This persecution inquisition, though, I feel like this is a deeply rooted wound that has affected you, whether you were the one that was initiating that on other people or you also experienced it as a result of an unwavering loyalty and commitment and service to another. It would definitely affect you in the present. It would affect how you show up, what you choose to build or make or create for yourself, what you believe is possible for yourself. It even would affect your ability to trust your own ideas and visions, right? Because there's this very deep energy of being in service to. But I feel like if it's showing up here, It's because Spirit, universe is highlighting the need to start looking at that narrative and understanding it and asking yourself, am I making sacrifices for the wrong thing? Is this what I really want? Why am I committed and loyal to the things that I'm committed and loyal to? And conversely, if you have a huge issue with making a commitment to any one thing, you have a very hard time giving yourself over, your loyalties over to any one project, place of business, or a person or a community. This could be why, because there's a sour taste in your mouth of the past because of this persecution after giving so much over of yourself only to be persecuted in return for all that faithful service. So it can almost be like there's a rebellious nature. This can go either way, and it's general. So obviously just apply what makes the most sense to you and how you're showing up in your life, because I definitely feel like it's both those energies are at play here. It's not one or the other. You're either struggle with overcommitment and being loyal to the wrong things and people rather than yourself, or you have a real disdain for it, and it's based in this persecution, this losing oneself and too much sacrifice for others, only to have things end up in bloodshed and death and persecution of yourself or others. I'm going to pull one card to see a gift that you have naturally that you may or may not be aware of coming from a past life, particularly any one of these past life energies that you can be leaning into more, utilizing more in this life. Okay, so there's an affirmation. I'm going to read the first part first. So it says, Complementary Health Practitioner, Selenite, Healing. Do you like to find alternative healing methods when dealing with a health issue? Do the research to find non-mainstream therapies and practices for health challenges. Recognize that there are many healthcare practices that align with the body, mind, spirit path to health and wellness. You know what's really interesting? Well, this very well may be a buried talent, gift that you have, the ability to heal. I also feel like this is a bit of a call to action, that using an alternative health care practitioner would be a good idea for you to help you cleanse and clear yourself from these past energies that are keeping you stuck in one way or another and help you become clear with it. The affirmation here is, my spine, bones, tendons, and muscles are healthy, strong, and aligned. I am spiritually, physically, emotionally, and mentally balanced. I am open to alternative paths to wellness and health. Excuse me, sorry about that, guys. I feel like there's definitely a call to receive maybe some energy healing, some Reiki healing of sorts. You may have the capacity to do this as well, because it is saying that from a past life there was something to this. You may even be experiencing strange physical symptoms that you can't figure out where they came from, and it could be coming from a injury or from the past, from one of these past lives. It's almost like it's phantom. You're like, I don't even know what I did. I don't know how I did this. This is always hurting me. It's like the Achilles heel kind of energy, right? Where you have this issue, but nobody can quite figure out why. And it may require some alternative healing method. But either way, I'm really pulled to this Native American culture here. There was so much natural and ways of healing people in that culture. And so I suspect you could have been like a medicine man or woman from that time who has the capacity to heal, and it may be very well long forgotten. It also may be a bit of an issue for you to even allow yourself to go there with this energy, especially if you were this loyal in service of others, other people's dreams. It would be a very tamped down, buried talent gift that you have. But I do think it's there for you. But I think that, again, there's that energy of two messages. In part, one being to seek this out for yourself, to cleanse and clear the past, to receive an energy healing around these energies that I feel like are still affecting you in some way, or one way or another. In some ways negative, and then, you know, it can also help you to get activated to connect to that more fiery African energy here. It says humans discovering fire Africa, that passionate energy. And I think it would open you up to some sort of energy around Native American culture. I feel really strongly with being like a medicine man or woman, somebody who can heal others through natural means. That was long-winded, my apologies. And it says complementary. So I feel like it's also just a little bit of a heads up from spirit, you know, jumping in to say, hey, we see that you have these physical issues. You may be surprised that some of these are deeply rooted into past lives, and alternative medicine is the only way to root this out, dig this out, and really heal it, and then step into your own healing ability. Okay. I'm going to pull a few more cards here. The Sweat Lodge. Oh, wow. So much of this is connected to Native American culture. Sweat Lodge, this is like, again, releasing, right? Going into that Sweat Lodge energy, releasing negativity. It's like sweating it out in a metaphorical way. But I think quite literally, this can be beneficial for your body too. I definitely get the sense that some of you are being given a heads up to lean into alternative healing to help release these energies and physical ailments that you can't quite figure out why they're there. And I also feel like it's going to activate you in some way to talents and gifts you have of your own that are connected to shamanism or medicine man woman type energy, healing of some sort. Wild woman. Yeah. Wild woman. Free spirited. And I definitely get the sense that some of you don't feel like you have the ability to be this, that overly loyal, right? That following somebody else's vision, fighting somebody else's fight, needing to get into this energy, needing to connect to the wild energy. This, you don't have to be a woman. It could also be, because it says wild woman, you know, connecting to that creativity, that fiery, passionate energy, that African life, where it's all creative thinking and doing. And especially for some of my men watching this, the idea of maybe leaning into alternative healing might seem a little woo-woo or even feminine in nature, but there's something about embracing that side of yourself that's really going to benefit you and help you disconnect from the harder energies of the past, these energies of sacrifice and what's the word I'm looking for? It's not just this disconnecting from the energies of so much sacrifice in your life, but I feel like the emotional and mental wounding that it caused, that again, you probably can't place it. You're like, why is this there? Why do I have this issue? But I feel like following this alternative medicine practice will open up your own abilities to do this and connect you to that more creative, fiery energy of the wild woman. You know, that Sweat Lodge energy, sweating it out, release, lots of need for releasing this. I think that the message here, the big message here is it affects you. These past lives affects you more than you can possibly know. Like, it's really done a number on your energy and how you show up in the world and where you place your loyalties, or whether you struggle with being loyal or you struggle with being overly loyal and committed. And again, general, so you'll know which one speaks to you. Will, wisdom, and mind, something to bring into balance. We've already been talking about that here, right? Coming into healing and balance, healing this energy out. But it also makes me think of a warrior with that crest there. You have the ability to be this, to be perfectly balanced in this way, even though you may not see it right now. Commitment. Right? It's sort of just reiterating this idea. So this could be a direct energy for some of you that are like, I struggle to make commitment. I struggle to be loyal to anything. These past lives, the persecution as a result, the not being valued, the sacrifice has left a sour taste in my mouth. So now I'm not committed to anything. And this could be a call to rewrite your story of what you want it to look like, what you want to be committed to. And for others, because it is coming in the challenge position, it could be to question and look at what you've committed yourself to. Does it really fit you? Does it really suit you? Why does this energy show up for you? Why is it difficult for you? Well, it's coming from past life energies that need to be cleared. Loving elementals in the reverse, suggesting a real need to reconnect to your Native American roots, to your African roots, to those energies of fire, passion, creativity, alternative medicine, healing. It's just a big call for that. Upright like this, it's suggesting being connected very much to that loving elementals, fairy energy, magic, needing to find that part of yourself again, because it's there and it's been there for you in the past. Diversity, yeah, 5 of Scrolls. So information, diversifying yourself, being more open to other community, other people, other ideas, situations, which would make a lot of sense with this energy of past lives where it's overly committed, lots of sacrifice, one direction, and it was never yours, right? Diversifying that, looking outside your comfort zone, really, to reconnect to these pieces of yourself. Let's see some energies that are going to be showing up here for my message 1 choosers. Pleiadian activation, coming together, harmony in the heavens, and resolution. Yeah, finding balance again. I really do get the sense that some of you not only struggle with these energies and frustration around these energies, why they're there, but I think there's physical struggle as well. This could change and shift for you if you follow this, the energies that Spirit's giving right now of healing this out, releasing, going an alternative route to help you understand this and uncover it, disconnect from it. Coming together, harmony in the heavens, resolution. Venusian Galactic Council, star being guides, answering the call, time to shine. Yeah, there's call to showing up a new way with a new understanding of who you are and what talents and gifts you actually have. I forgot to mention that you chose the typewriter, which connects to communication as well. So you could have some skills with communication, whether this is you receiving communication from the cosmos and kind of channeling it through you and giving that advice to others, or whether you really could just do something with writing or communicating in that kind of way. It doesn't matter, but that's an energy there that's there for you as well, coming from a past life. And it says Venusian Galactic Council, which I find really interesting because they're that feminine energy, the energy of creativity, alternative ideas and methods, intuition, looking outside the box, not going with the practical ways of things. But I feel like your past lives have created that energy within you. I follow orders. I follow rules. It's black and white. There is no gray. And it's time to embrace the gray parts of your life. Listen to them, understand them, and remove this vow of I'll follow you to the ends of the earth, no questions asked. It's time to look at that narrative. And remember, I said conversely, if some of you have a difficult time making a commitment or staying true and loyal to any one thing, it's this persecution energy, this I did all that, I was that, I made these vows, I followed, I sacrificed, only to end up losing my life in the end, because I do think that happened for some of you, or to hurt people who I didn't want to hurt, and now I'm carrying around that guilt. All this can be healed out and resolved, but it's definitely showing up because it's affecting you in your life in some way, shape, or form now. And I feel like the biggest call to action for you guys is to go into an alternative way to heal this out mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? Bringing that wisdom, will, and mind back into balance. Okay, I'm going to cap us off with a final message from Spirit. Whew. Creativity. This is what I was talking about. There's a big block to this for my message one choosers. We, your angelic messengers, are here to help unleash the endless creative potential that you possess. Listen to the whispers of love inside your heart as we communicate with you through feeling and emotion. Let go of fear and apprehension and express the endless source of creativity you possess. Have fun and allow the inner child within you to express your true essence. Your true essence. All is valid. I love that for you guys with this reading. It's a big block here, and this is the why of it. It's coming from the past. So if you've struggled to figure out why you are like this, that is why. These vows that need to be broken, these misplaced loyalties, the following somebody else's orders and narratives down to the wire, you're through so many lives. It's time to break free from that. And then commit yourself to this creative energy, to this healing energy, to this wisdom that you have, that fiery passionate energy that comes from places like Africa and Native America. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I really do hope you guys give yourself over to this alternative healing energy to move this energy out, because I think it's going to bring in something amazing. So many aha moments, new opportunities. I even feel like you could end up building something as a result of this, using that creative energy in the best possible way. It'd be really exciting for you guys. All right, I really am going to leave that there. Take care, guys. Hello, message 2. Let's have a look and see what type of past life energies can still be affecting you in this present life. Potential gifts and talents that you can draw on. Message 2. What do we have for message 2? Oh, okay, communal living. Oh, baby. Okay. You know what's coming to my mind straight away is it takes a village. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise a child. That's something that's coming to my mind. Ooh, and galactic. Interesting. All right. So there's something from the stars here for my message 2. Is you're connected to the stars in some way. There's a concept of star beings, star seed energy, where you don't really feel at home. You feel a little bit like not of this world, alien to Earth. Earth is not my home, and I can feel that. You may be very connected to the stars, the moon, the skies, always looking up to the planets, just always looking outward and upward rather than being as present here as possible. Just a disconnect there. It's interesting too with communal living in the center and then baby over here. There's a sense of it does take a village, and you're used to having a community, especially if you're a star being, starseed. It's not all in one person. Where's my community? That could be something that's really difficult for you in this life, or finding that sense of community where everyone's taking care of everyone and looking out for each other. Because this is something that comes from way far off, from another time and place where it's just natural to have that. And there may be a disconnect for you in this life where you're not feeling that. Also, conversely, because sometimes these energies are hard and you would have had past lives here, you could have had a difficult life in a communal living situation where something happened to a baby, or your baby wasn't properly cared for, creating some sort of fear. And there could be a call to pull you into your galactic energy, your star being, starseed energy, to help disconnect that, understand it, clear it, so there's no more fear around maybe child rearing or children in general, or trusting people. There's so many ways this could play out, and it's general. So whatever resonates with you, apply that to your situation. Let's pull some more cards. Okay, that was strange. We'll go like that. I might have to look at the bottom card of that one. Oh my gosh, this came up in the first reading. So activation, humans discovering fire, Africa. So there's some sort of connection to Africa as well. It doesn't have to be the communal living life, but there's something to that. And because it's activating, there's something probably where you've had gifts, talents there, where you were impassioned and inspired in some way, a leader maybe perhaps, leading a tribe of sorts. Either way, there's some sort of connection to Africa, and that's activating for you in this life, or could be activating in this life, because fire is always connected to inspiration, passion, creativity. What else am I trying to say? You know, also like confidence and power too, feeling like you're able to be a leader of sorts. So there's something to that. Okay, we've got courage. And then we've got Vikings in the New World. Activation and courage. Vikings in the New World. I'm getting this picture of needing to find independence, standing on your own 2 feet, whether you struggle with being overly independent and not trusting, community and connection, and not allowing help to come in, or whether it's wanting that and not being able to find it. There's an independence that's mixed in with this. Are you overly independent so you can't reach this or connect to it, or you struggle with trusting it? Or are you relying on it too much and you need to step out on your own and claim some independence here in this life? Because it could be either or. And, Vikings in the New World. So there's very likely that you've had a life at the time of the Viking era with discovering. Again, it's all communal though, really, when you think about it, right? With tribes and, this galactic energy of we all work together. I mean, if you think about star beings and star seeds, that's sort of hive mind in a lot of ways. This is a big energy. Do you struggle with this, or is this something that you need to lean into more? Vikings in the New World, cultivating courage. This could be connected to that baby energy as well. I know a lot of people back then in the Viking era lost children. There wasn't enough healthcare. There wasn't enough understanding about healthcare, sanitation, all these kinds of things. The more we move on, the more I'm feeling like there's a distrust with community and connections. And there could be fears and phobias around what you could lose as a result of it. Yourself, your loved ones, just not being able to feel completely comfortable in these communities and connections because there's been loss as a result. Okay, I'm going to look at the bottom card. Ooh, freedom, 1963. I have a dream speech. Okay, this is something that I feel is really needed from my message to choosers. How can you free yourself of fears and distrust around community, going on your own for others, like that, really leaning into that independent streak? Feeling tied up is the energy that I keep coming back to. They're all tied up. You're all tied up. But there is freedom to be had to disconnect from energies that were hard or heavy or negative, where I feel like there was loss. A loss of independence, a loss of connection, a loss of a loved one. And with the star being origins here too, there's something about that energy that needs to be pulled back down to help with this, to find that balance between community, connection, and independence. This life over here, this activation, this fire, Africa, this feels like there's something positive in there with leadership for me. This feels heavier and harder over here to me for my message to choosers. Okay, I'm going to pull a card. This could either connect to talents and gifts that you have from these past lives, from somewhere in these past lives, or something that you may need to lean in on at this time. We'll see. I'm feeling so much polarity in this reading. Like I'm probably fumbling around with my words and kind of all over the place, but that's kind of how it feels. Like there's so much going on here. I have a dream speech too. That was Martin Luther King Jr., right? And he was trying to unite the people. He was trying to bring everybody together, which also brings that energy of community again. We are not separate. We are all one. I'm so curious now how this manifests for my message too, is whether it's too much dependence on that or needing to trust in that and seek it out. Ooh, okay, I did that again. I picked up 2 cards, so we'll do that again too. So visual artist showing up. So you may have been an artist in a past life or had artistic abilities. Do you have special awareness and notice form, color, textures, and geometrics? Tap into the part of you that is an artist. Allow yourself to receive inspiration, to think beyond the normal lens. Channel divine inspiration and organize your thoughts so that they manifest in your life. And we've got art there. And, you know, fiery energy of Africa, activation, creativity, inspiration. Definitely an energy here that you need to lean in on, and something from the past where you've done this before. And if you look at this card too, there's drawings on the wall. So there's something very creative in you that wants to be brought out, message 2. And the affirmation is, creativity flows through me. I can see things that others seem to miss. Some of you might be seers as well, have psychic abilities. My imagination is the key to my success. I have great vision and perspective. Yeah, I think some of you have psychic abilities as well. You're very intuitive. This one also turned kind of sideways, and I didn't mean to grab both, but I did. But it feels like there's 2 messages here. So I'm going to go ahead and read this one as well. Okay. Ooh, this says urban planner, honey calcite. Do you take the time to find out about your neighborhood? Oh, wow. Okay, community connection again. It's time to participate in your community. Look at ways you can support your community's growth. Be involved in environmental and ecological concerns for the overall well-being of your neighborhood. And then it's building. So being able to build something, being a passionate person that leads the way. I am a steward of the earth. I leave my land and neighborhood in better condition than before I arrived. My community is important to me. Okay. I'm still going to say I still strongly believe that some of you struggle with independence in some ways. And that could even be independence around making decisions and leading, being able to believe that you're capable of doing that. But the bigger message here is a lack of community, not feeling that sense of community, that it takes a village. And there's been loss there too. So there is some distrust, heaviness, where many tribal energies that you've been in, many, the Viking world where everybody had to work together has been disappointing and brought loss of some sort. And I definitely think it was like you might have lost a child in one of these lives or many of these. And that galactic nature is independent, but also hive mind, right? It's like they can separate, but then they always come back together. And that idea of you having intuitive abilities or psychic senses, I think that that's coming from galactic origins as well, like star being origins. This is an energy that needs to be pulled down for you guys, like a superpower that I think you're not currently using to help you get back into the energy of trusting community again, believing in it. So how should I do this? I should do it like this. Because 2, I think this will bring that sense of freedom that you have, like with that I have a dream speech. You too should be leaning on your dreams and bringing community together. And I think that you're absolutely capable of it. I think you have done it in the past, but all the past lives where there has been really positive things from them, and then others where there's been really hard, and there's some sort of imprint on the hard ones where community was disappointing or let you down, or there's a loss as a result, or underhandedness or sneakiness where you can no longer trust said community, almost feeling like outcast. There's something to that here for me, for you guys. Flow. A call to action to get into flow again and discover those innate gifts and talents that you have that I think will be very helpful in an energy around community, in you leading a community situation in some kind of way. Needing to find that flow again. And I feel like that's really connected to that galactic energy that you hold. Connected to the stars, there's that big moon, which I'm really drawn to in the background there. The council, which would be the council of light, being connected to something much higher, galactic energy over there, right? This is you. So it makes me feel like you're a very powerful star being seed person from the stars, that you have a council of light around you that wants to help you and guide you and show you the way, that will help you be the planner and build something within a community with your creativity, your intuitive abilities, your psychic abilities, all of this coming together. But again, because we're looking at past life energies, there's some heaviness and sorrow as a result of communal living. There was some loss. I really think that for some of you, losing a child or trusting the wrong people with a child, disappointment, fights within the communities where, I'll rather be independent and go my own way than actually ever have to trust completely in this situation again, or myself, because, if we've lived many lives, we've been all of it. We've been the good and the bad of it. So it could be that you're not trusting yourself the way that you should be either, as a result of something from a past life. All right, let's pull some more cards. Also, I will say, and I forgot to mention, I did it again. You guys chose the clock. So that has to do with timing. And for me, I keep coming back to, because I was thinking about this, and I was like, oh, I didn't bring up the clock, but untimely death, an untimely death or loss in the past. Scary fear. It still simmers there, almost like you're looking around the corners like it's going to happen again if I do this thing or trust this community or lean on too much support or lead the way. I could create some sort of loss for someone else. There's a real strong connection so that clock makes me think of something untimely that happened in the past, but also how divine timing is coming into play for you now, especially with that council there. And that's the number 11 too, new gateway. You have the ability to connect to this council of light that will help guide you through. Okay. There's a lot of double cards coming out. So in the first, we've got the butterfly and beauty. That's that visual artistry, that connection to creativity, right? You have the ability to be this, to lean into this. It's sort of like I am that I am. You are, but I think there's a big disconnect from it. And then we've got here in the challenge, independence, healthy boundaries, the cat, right? And there's so much about community and needing community right now and needing to trust community again, that being overly independent could be the challenge for you right now, right? But also knowing how to find a balance in that. And that's really difficult. Knowing when it's time to strike a balance between what you want for you and your own independence and your ability to do things for yourself and as yourself, which I think there's something in that African lifetime where that's been the case. But also knowing when to lean into community and build around that and for them and be a part of it. You don't have to lose yourself in doing that. Oh, restriction. Yep, there's been restrictions. There's been heaviness. There's been tied up energy. I almost feel like, I think I've already said it. I've probably already said it. Like, you guys have had a lot of fears and phobias that you couldn't really explain, where you felt restricted within and disconnected, and this fear and anxiety keeping up, and you're not sure why, as it connects to community and people and situations, or your ability to lead and be an independent leader while still being a part of a group and community, like interconnectedness rather than codependency. There's some sort of restriction there. Forgiveness. Do some of you need to maybe forgive yourself for past life mistakes? It can be really interesting. We can be really hard on ourselves and not know why. We can hold a lot of shame and guilt, and we're not sure why, because nothing's actually happened in this life. But we feel this massive responsibility that what if it could, and fear our own power and our capabilities as a result of something that happened many lifetimes ago, but we're still carrying the wound. So doing some healing around this, I think, would be a really good idea for my message twos. It needs to be released because you've got this ability to lead, to be passionate, to use your creativity. I think natural born gifts of clairvoyance, vision, channeling light codes and the council of light energy, like wisdom, higher mind and wisdom. All of this is there for you, I think, but it's blocked as a result of these things from the past. It almost makes me feel like for some of you in your past lives, you could have been one of the person that, you know, well-intentioned, but created some sort of loss, or there was an untimely death as a result of maybe something you did or didn't do, and now you're holding on to that guilt and shame, as though it's still playing out, and it needs to be released because you're not there anymore, right? You're in this life now. All is forgiven, all is lost. I also think that perhaps because there's so much polarity showing up in this reading, that some of you need to look at who do you need to forgive. What communities and situations in this life do you need to forgive for what for what's happened or what didn't happen? You know, where there was mistakes and things like that. Forgiveness is never for the other people or person. It's always for you, so that you don't carry it around, the heaviness of that around anymore. There's something to that here as well for my group 2s. The central sun, abundance, downloads, regeneration, and success. Nice. And then you've got that coming up next, that butterfly, which is transformation and beauty. Very much connected to you, though, and your ability to trust the independent streak that you have, your leadership abilities. I think that again, that stems from your galactic origins and nature, as well as some sort of things that gifts, talents you had in that African life. Something that needs to be pulled down. Abundance downloads. That sounds strange. Regeneration and success, the central sun. And I feel like this is something that's on the cards for you quite literally, but I really think it is. And you looking at these energies that you hold within around community and independence and fears and anxieties within each of them, and releasing them and finding a way to let them go. Like even almost saying, I don't live there anymore. That was then, that was a different time. I'm here now. It's a completely different new life, a new era, a new century. I got this. Like I can move forward and trust myself again, or trust my community. Merkaba activation, transcendence, ascension. You are rising up. Wow. Yes. Some of you might already be feeling this energy stirring with you, like coming to these little moments of clarity where your psychic senses are really tuned in, where you're seeing, you're understanding, you're making these connections. You have this deep inner knowing, something stirring within you, and it's like it's showing up, it's coming to the surface because you're ready to start releasing it. And as a result, you connect to your light body, to your origins, to your capacity to lead from this kind of perspective, a group, a community, using that creative vision. It feels, this reading feels like there's so much inspiration below it, underneath it, that's trying to come up as a result of you understanding why you may hold some of these distrusting, fearful energies around leadership and community and connection, and fear of leading and causing a problem as a result. I feel like they're all unwarranted in this lifetime. Okay, I am going to cap this off with one final message. You can't even see that card there. Oh my gosh, everything's coming out in 2s for you guys, which is so funny because some of you, I think, are definitely struggling with finding your independence and not relying heavily on community, and some of you are needing to lean into it and trust it again, and yourselves as a result of some sort of loss. Anyways, I was going to stop. We've got, how many beautiful heartfelt wishes have been crushed by fear? How many times has society's voices of disapproval cast a shadow on your dreams? It is time to break free of these false beliefs and realize your dreams. Allow your heart to guide you. Trust your inner guidance. The time is right. Divine timing. The time is right. The time is now for you to start doing this work. I find it really interesting. It says, how many times has society's voice of disapproval cast a shadow on your dreams? That disconnect and distrust of community because of things that have happened in the past. And also that fear. Beautiful wishes crushed by fear, not trusting yourself. Then we've got love here. Negative thoughts and feelings are sabotaging your pursuit of happiness. We, your angels, are here to help you heal. Allow our healing light to flow through your heart. Consciously infuse each negative thought or feeling with love and light. Feel both your heart and mind aligning to your soul's sacred purpose and unleash your divine potential through the power of love. You know, your heart really would be restricted, especially if you were not feeling like you could trust yourself or the people around you, or there was pain and heartache as a result of having done just that. Reconnecting to those star being, starseed origins will bring in that light, will bring in clarity. I think doing some heart chakra meditations would be a really good idea as well. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that there. I'm wishing you all well and hope that you give yourself over to cleansing and clearing this out, because it feels like there's so much inspired creative action as a result and really good communal connections. Okay, take care, guys. Hello, message 3. Let's have a look and see what types of past life energies may still be affecting you today in this present life. Oop. Just dropped a whole bunch of cards there. Ooh, we've got Medicine Man or Woman, suggesting that you likely had a lifetime where you were this. So right off out of the gate for message 3, we're getting a connection to a talent, gift, or skill that you likely had where you were this. Leaving or travel. Interesting. Okay, having to move away, having to move around, perhaps having to disconnect for some of you from a living situation in a community that you had a strong and powerful connection to. That would be really difficult. Or there could be a restriction around this. We'll see what else shows up. Ooh, karmic relationship. Okay. All right, we've got a lot going on here for message number 3. Okay, let's talk about this message 3. So with Medicine Man or Woman at the center, there's some sort of connection to probably native indigenous culture where you were the person that everybody came to see for healing. So you could have some healing capabilities here. With leaving or travel on this side here and karmic relationship on this side, there's a strange sense of having to have left your community, the people who trusted you or looked to you for healing, for guidance. Like, because I also think there's some shamanic energy here as well. So it could be deeper than just being a healer of sorts, like a medicine man or woman, but they would come to you for wisdom and guidance because maybe you had psychic abilities as well. There's a sense of having to leave that behind, or maybe even having wanted to leave that behind to pursue other things, but feeling like you couldn't. There was karmic relationships and connections keeping you somewhere. Also, some of you could be experiencing a relationship in your life right now that is quite karmic in nature, and you may be aware of that. And there is some sort of connection to the past as it pertains to your healing capacity and your movement as a result. It could be that some of you moved on from a relationship and so it never got to be completed, or that some of you wanted to move on from a connection that you knew wasn't good for you, but you felt stuck, like depended on for all to be this central person, this wisdom, this guide, this sage, this provider in some kind of ways to the partner in the relationship. This is very interesting. I'm really curious to see what else comes out with this. You know, and I'm noticing too in the background of this karmic connection, that's like the Air Force, the airplane, right? I'm almost getting like World War I and II energy, particularly World War II. So if some of you feel a connection to that, and I'm also getting a sense that for some of you, it's like, you know, you may feel a connection to that era, that time. It could evoke anxiety. It could evoke something positive. Either way, there's something to that makes me feel like there was a loss as a result. And now this new connection, this connection is back in and you're finishing up what couldn't have happened because they're leaving, you know, saying goodbye to somebody fighting in the wars, you know, and somebody in the Air Force in particular caused the relationship to finish, to end prematurely. to be disconnected from in a way that you weren't ready for it to be. It also, like, I will say too, with the medicine man or woman in the center, could be like there's a need for healing around this karmic relationship and that loss and them leaving. There could be that it could show up as manifesting. There's a lot of fears manifested in your existing relationship, fear of where they may go, fear of them leaving. But it does feel like something like that happened for my message 3 choosers in the past, which would create issues around abandonment, you know, fear of loss, fear of the what if energy. Also, you know, for some, it's a loss of self too. When we're in a karmic relationship and we know we're finishing something off, sometimes we can lose ourselves over to it because there's these underlying anxieties and fears about if they leave, if they walk out the door, they may never walk back in. Because I do think some of you experience that in like a wartime energy when your partner left and the relationship that you wanted and had didn't get to be completed because they died as a result. And this could just be a call to healing, but I think it's both. I think some of you are needing a healing around relationships and that kind of energy because of things that happened in the past. And for others, you also are this. You have embodied this. You have been this person, the one relied upon to be the central person that everybody comes to in the community. And it's created karmic relationships and connections, an inability to move or a fear of moving forward as a result. There's a lot going on here. The Taj Mahal, India, and love, karmic relationships, love. Wow. Okay. So some kind of life in India as well, where this karmic relationship may have originated from. This feels like many, many lifetimes with the same person for some of my message 3 choosers. And you can feel that, or you have some understanding that you've been here before where you are with this energy. I'm definitely getting the sense that there's a need for some healing around this. Taj Mahal, India's, yeah. Love. Wow, okay. Power. Dinosaurs in the Jurassic period. Power. Wow. There's so much going on here. Like we're really going far back with this energy. Kind of suggesting like you could have been around right from the beginning, like caveman time. Feeling a connection to this energy or the places where you would find the dinosaurs were could be also an origin place for you. I also feel like there's some sort of power within you. I feel like it's connected to healing abilities that needs to be brought back. And it's as old as time. It goes like almost from your first incarnation into this world, your first life. Like it's been with you always. It's inherent. It's innate to who you are as a person. With this healing capacity. But I think this is acting as a double message. This is in need of healing around karmic relationships and that you've been through the cycle with this person many times. There's fear of loss around them, disconnection from them. I think untimely death as a result. But I also think this is manifested in a way as being the central person in a community who leads and guides and heals and provides wisdom for others. And you know, having had to have moved away from that, having lost as a result of that, or losing a little bit of self-autonomy as a result of feeling the need to stay in that and be that. There's a lot going on. Okay, let's pull some more cards here. Oh, actually, let's go here first. I'm going to try to pull a card here that might suggest some gifts and talents that you may or may not be aware of that have existed in the past for you that you may need to be bringing out more, or this could just be speaking about something that you need to do in the here and now, some sort of healing, something that you need to work on. Okay, so we've got Ooh, we've got dancer and entertainment. Do you have natural rhythm in your body and your body movements? Develop strong core muscles, find your center, and improve flexibility. Express yourself through movement and release pent-up energy and emotions. Be fluid and graceful in all aspects of your life. So this is sort of like a call to action. It's also saying entertainment. So in a past life, you could have been somewhat famous or well known. Again, and going back to that being that central figure for people, a leader of some sort, the one that everybody comes to for things. And it could have been in the form of entertainment for some of you. I am light on my feet and have rhythm. I use my core muscle strength, my core muscular strength to creatively express my emotions through motion. I have endurance and enjoy moving my body. So it is definitely a call to action in some ways, something that you can do in the here and now, I think, to help release some of this energy. But I also think this is something that you naturally have as a talent from your past. It's stemming from your past. And then you've got Argonite. I think that's how you say that, Argonite. That could be beneficial to you as well. All right, I'm going to pull a couple more cards here. There's so much going on in this message for my message 3 choosers. It sort of makes me feel like you've had many, many lives. You're an old soul, message 3. Oh my gosh, look at the ghost dance. And then we've got dancer. Okay, and it's number 22, which is a number of strong and powerful, solid foundations. It's also connected to building things and leadership. I just feel like I need to tell you guys that. The ghost dancer and dancer, oh my goodness. This medicine man or woman energy too, right? I'm thinking Native American culture, and the indigenous and how they used dance to connect to spirit. I think that's something that you're more capable of than you realize. I think this body movement connects you to higher mind in a huge way. And I think that there's some sort of connection, even though we've got India here and we've got the Jurassic period here, I think there's some sort of Native American connection too with medicine man or woman. There's something in that. There's talents and gifts that you need to lean into. And part of healing through that and connecting to it is going to be through dance. Moving your body in this way. It'll move out stagnant, stuck energy too, and fear energy too, especially as it connects to leaving, travel, moving forward, disconnecting from a relationship or fear around what could happen to a partner in a relationship. I also think maybe disconnecting from moving towards karmic relationships all the time and then bringing in something new and more powerful, like kindred spirit, soulmate connection rather than karmic. The seer. And we did touch on that with medicine man or woman. You have this ability. You are the seer. There is a very strong energy here. Whether you lost this ability to a relationship, to a vow of being this for all people in a community, being heavily relied upon, causing you to not be able to move forward for yourself and your own life, or whether or not this is something that's been suppressed as a result of fear and loss and hardship through love and connection, it needs to be brought back out. This is just another gift and talent you have. This is something that you've been in the past. Native American culture is coming through really, really strong. You are the seer. You are capable of connecting to your clairvoyant abilities, and start with this dance energy. Reconnect to that part of yourself. It's drumming. It's almost like I'm hearing the drum. I think it's going to be really healing for you. I think it's going to open you up to these past lives and how they've manifested in your life and any wounds that they've created or fears and anxieties they've created, so that you can bring out the best pieces of them into your present life and discard the anxieties and the woundings and the need to keep recycling and playing out these patterns karmically. Finally disconnect from them. I'm hoping that made some sense. I recognize that I'm all over the place with this, because there just feels like there's so many messages with this one. Old soul. I just keep coming back to that too. You're an old soul. And I'm getting this energy of being a healer through the ages. You've been a healer through all the ages. And there's something in love and karmic relationships that is affecting that ability, that has affected that ability, suppressed. There's some sort of abandonment energy here as well. There's just a lot going on. Ooh, okay, you're getting right out of the gate, you're getting a heads up about something. No, wait, postpone, pause, say no. Oh, be open to this message, message 3. There's something, a direction, leaving or travel. If you're thinking about moving towards something, somewhere, someone, stop, pause, wait, postpone, say no. Not yet. Don't make any hasty decisions yet. Keepers of the earth, you are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. And again, I'm feeling that call and connection to like indigenous Native American culture. Look at the picture in that. She looks like a medicine woman up there herself. And then there's all these animals, very much connected to earth energy and past lives where you were the seer, you were the shaman, you were the healer, you were all the things. Calling in your ancient ancestors to stand beside you and help guide you, help you make and understand your decisions and how to make a good decision for yourself about what you should and shouldn't move forward with at this time. It's a really good idea. Break the chain. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Wow. You are not alone. Ancient ancestors stand beside you. Wait, postpone, pause. There's a big, big message here to find a way to break karmic cycles and calling in karmic relationships, doing it over and over and over again. I wish I was connecting stronger to the reason why that keeps happening for you. I just want to come back to this feeling of fear of abandonment, loss, feeling like things were incomplete and you have to go back again when really you're not supposed to keep going back. There's something to that for me. Breaking the chain, though. Ancestral patterns, healing, rewriting the future. Yeah, it's time to move into healing energy around this. Definitely. It seems like it's hugely affecting your life and your ability to move forward and move on, especially as far as romantic relationships and connections are concerned. Holy cow. Okay, soul family, call in your tribe. You don't have to do it alone. And then you've got, you are not alone. And ancient ancestors stand beside you. Okay. Feeling very alone and lonely, message 3. I'm so sorry. I am feeling that deeply, like in my core and in my heart, this heaviness, this sadness, that fear of abandonment, not wanting to let go, not being able to move forward from these karmic connections and relationships, and an over dependence on these relationships and how you value them and yourself within them. You don't have to do it alone. Call in your tribe. So you're coming into a time where you can understand this more fully, connect to your indigenous and native culture, dance through this, use movement, dance, and rhythm, drumming specifically, to heal these karmic energies and connections, to release them, to get back in your power with that medicine man, that being the healer, being the seer, being the wise one, the wise sage. Like I said, I feel like you've come in with this superpower. Like it's as old as you are. It's as old as your soul is. It feels like it's from your very first incarnation. You've had these gifts and abilities, but people, relationships, situations have suppressed these powers that you hold, and this ability to reconnect, to connect to soul family, to kindred spirits, to a soul mate. That's much better for you. It's like you have this feeling that you have to go back and try to fix what didn't work in these connections. Just give it one more try. Just see again. There's something to that here for me that my message 3s need to know and understand. All right, let's pull a couple of energy cards here for my message 3 choosers. I feel like you have very, very strong healer roots. But it feels bigger than that to me from my message 3 choosers. It's not just as simple as, well, you know, from Native culture, you have the ability to be the seer, the sage, the shaman, the wise one, the central person, the, you know, all these things. There's something more to it for me, and I'm trying to put my finger on it, and I can't quite get myself to do it, but like, there's something. Sword of Light, divine protection, cords cut, breakthrough energy. Nice. Love to see this for you. That divine protection too, right? Wait, postpone, pause, say no. I feel like, you know, the divine, the angels, your spirit guides, your ancestors are trying to get your attention. If you feel like that, if you've been seeing signs and synchronicities lately, but maybe you've been discounting them as not that, they are real and they are trying to get your attention. You are being protected. Cords cut to the past, to all this karmic relationship energy. And breakthrough energy is at hand. But I feel like there's this, you have to give yourself over to it. You have to get this going. You have to start with moving that body, because it really does seem to help move your energy in particular because of who you naturally are as a shamanistic type person, as a healer, as a seer. It's like that physical movement will get it going. And I'm last time I'm going to say it, I promise, but use something with drumming in it. Star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home and soul family again, soul family. Wow. You are about to connect in a very big, strong way to your soul family, your soul origins, your abilities. Everything's coming into alignment for you. So if something's not working out for you, or if you're hesitant to move in a direction, trust that feeling, trust that vibe, because it feels like there's something better, and spirit is trying to get your attention to redirect you to something else, to your soul family, to your ancestral lineage, to your superpowers that have been lost and suppressed due to these karmic relationships and connections, and those feelings and fears of abandonment, I feel. And I also think feeling overly like I'm dependent on to be this for all others. There's something really powerful coming through here for my message 3s. And it wants to show up. It feels like it wants to show up, and it's been wanting to show up for a while. So just don't be on such high alert that you create anxiety for yourself, but just really be thoughtful in your actions and choices moving forward. Really find ways to be as open as you possibly can to the signs and synchronicities around you. Maybe doing some grounding meditations. I think that could be a really good idea for you guys to keep you very present, and crown chakra to keep you open. And you will connect to what your next steps are, what it is you need to be doing now. It's going to connect you to the right people, the right community, the right situation, your soul family, your soul tribe. Wow. Okay. This is one of those readings where I kind of want to pause it and just stare at the cards and really see what I'm feeling and vibing with, because I definitely feel like I'm missing saying something. But, you know, it's a good opportunity for my message 3 choosers to look at this and use your own intuition, because you will probably see it for yourself. Like, I know what she's missing, and I know what the message is for me. I know what I need to do. This is my hope for you guys. Trust. You are looking at a situation from a purely physical perspective, and therefore you cannot see the bigger picture and the blessings interwoven within this event. We, your angels, urge you to trust, for all will work out in the best way possible. Let go of your fear and apprehension and allow God's healing energy to flow to you. Trust, for all will heal in ways you never thought possible. Yeah, it's like there's something that you can't see. There's something on the other side, this new connection, understanding yourself and who you really are. As this says, remembering home, it's all around the corner, but it feels like you're in some heaviness and hardness, and it goes deep. It stems all the way back to your origins, to your past, to karmic connections, to feelings of abandonment and movement and loss. I'm going to hold it up there. Maybe some of you would like to take a snapshot of that so you can read this back to yourself when you feel yourself feeling like you're in the opposite of trust. You're stuck in fear and worry and anxiety. Especially as it pertains to feeling like you have to make any hard and fast decisions right now, because you're being called to not do that. Message 3. All right. I don't think that there's anything else I need to touch on there for you guys. I hope that you all have an amazing day, week, whenever you happen to see this, and really give yourself over to this movement and this ghost dance energy to release what needs to go. I feel like it's at the very least going to get things started for you. Okay. Take care, guys. Hello, message 4. So we're going to have a look and see what types of energies from past lives may still be affecting you in this life. And then we'll look at some guidance and advice around what to do about that. I should mention too that you guys chose the phone image. So that could have some significance as well, as in there could be some incoming call soon, a call to action, information or messages that could be potentially coming through for you as a result of you watching this reading, as it pertains to these energies and things. So something to keep in mind. Ooh, we've got galactic at the center, very much likely having star being origins, starseed origins. If you don't know much about that, you can have a look it up. Feeling like Earth is not your home, feeling like a bit of an alien on this Earth and disconnected maybe from humans and humanity and human culture, feeling like you just don't quite belong or fit in anywhere because you are not from this Earth. So there could be a call to action to find a way to reconnect to your star being origins. Okay, we've got mother energy. This could be painting so many different kinds of pictures. So we'll see what else comes out with that. But right out of the gate, this could have to do with your own mother, your own ability to mother, or how you are show up as a mother, maternal instincts, anything to do with divine feminine. And children. Oh my goodness, Father. Whew. Okay. All right. Mother and Father energy. So, and then galactic energy at the center. Okay. So right out of the gate, what I'm feeling here from a message for choosers is that you definitely feel like a bit of an alien on this earth, and probably in your family, where maybe your family members, your mom and your dad specifically, don't understand you. They don't understand where you're coming from. They might even see you as an oddball. Maybe they don't directly say that. Maybe they do. But they don't resonate with you because you're not on the same frequency. You're not on the same level of thinking. You come from a different place where there's different rules and laws and ways of being and living, and you hold that energy within you, whether you realize it or not. And so it's almost like your mother and father are foreign to you. I suspect that there's a lot of tension that happens as a result of your connection to your mother and father, not seeing eye to eye, probably butting heads a lot, seeing them as old school, or the way that they think is very old school, or not understanding you, and maybe having it feel like you don't resonate with them, and you don't understand how to connect with them. There's a disconnect there, and it's been hard and it's been frustrating, especially because it's family. But this is going way back, right? Because this is from the past too. So if you are experiencing this difficulty with your parents and seeing eye to eye and feeling connected to them and having them understand you and you understand them, this is probably something that's been going on through many lifetimes, and you're karmically trying to work it out. You're trying to figure out a way to find some sort of common ground and build a bridge rather than burn it. Because I'm getting this, I keep seeing burning bridges. So it makes me feel like maybe in the past the bridges were burned and there was a disconnect from mother, father energy, from family, and it affected you deeply. And so maybe you feel like in this life you have to really stay close and connected and try to fight for it, try to work it out, try to show them a different way, and it's just not working. It feels like some karmic rebalancing that wants to show up here for my message for choosers, of how to find common ground, build bridges, or even for some, maybe healthily depart from mother father energy, and in a way that is comfortable for you, but actually helps you stand in your own autonomy, not trying to fix or soothe or treat, get them to see things your way, and conversely not getting too stuck in trying to be what they need you to be. I wonder if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. Let's pull some more cards. Either way, this is pointing to many lifetimes of connection with parents where you felt like the black sheep, the odd one out, different, very different from the rest, because you're not from this earth. You are different. You are meant to be different, and it looks like it's been very difficult, and it's carrying over into this life to see eye to eye, to understand each other, because you're coming from very different perspectives and places, quite literally. But I mean, the relationships that we cultivate with our mother and father, they affect us throughout our entire lifetime, because they're the first picture of what we have of what it means to be a man or a woman, a mother, a father. They're our nurturers and our providers. So whether we want to or not, we take and pick up a lot of their energies and their attributes. Wow, playfulness, 31. Woodstock in New York. So looking like you may have had a life here in this time, probably in the late 50s, early 60s, because that's when this era really popped off. Everybody always thinks 70s, but it was actually the 60s. So feeling free, feeling like a free spirit, feeling wild in nature, feeling very connected to that. And it's saying playfulness to bring this energy out. It seems to me, if it's showing up for you here, especially because it's coming on the side of more of a positive energy from a past life, potentially, to pull on this, to go back into what it means to be a free-spirited, hippie-style, playful energy again. Maybe you feel disconnected from this as a result of tensions within the family because of your mother and father energy, because of how you feel you're supposed to be and act and feel. But you're really being called to reconnect to this. And it says New York, so you could have had a life there or feel connected to there. It does say Woodstock as well. So having been at Woodstock and feeling that sense of what it means to be a free spirit and to experience freedom from the ideas, opinions, and societal expectations of our parents too, I think is a part of the equation here. Okay, the Silk Road, and it says Inner Mongolia, and it says adventure, playfulness, and now adventure. So there's a lot of restrictive energy right at the gate showing up here for my message for. So you feel restricted, likely by your mother and father's energy, the way that you were raised, their belief systems. It's all affecting you. And again, it goes back to that central energy of you are not of this earth. You are from the stars. You are star born. It would be almost impossible to get them to see things your way or understand you the way that you are, because you are so very different. But it's not so much about trying to change them or them allowing them to change you, but finding a bridge, a way to meet in the middle. And that might mean spending less time with them. Being very mindful of the time that you spend with them and how it's spent and what you talk about and what you do and what you allow yourself to be affected by, because you want to get back into this playful energy, that free-spirited energy. And there's some sort of lifetime, it says here, in the Silk Road, Inner Mongolia, where you had an adventurous spirit as well. A lot of spirituality with this too, like thinking Dalai Lama, monks, that kind of energy. There's a lot of that happens there in this area. Living from the land, being very connected to the earth, which always makes me feel like there's some sort of healing energy as well, being very earth bound, right? As above, so below, bringing like heaven down to earth. I feel like you have the capacity to do this, and you've had some sort of life here too, in Mongolia, where you were able to do that. But conversely, because we're talking about past life energies that could be potential issues, these energies of mother and fathers being difficult would be throughout the ages. It would have happened in here, and it would have happened in here. But within those energies was you being able to feel that sense of adventure, that connection to the stars and the earth, to the wild person within, to the playful hippie, the free spirit. It just seems like these energies are constantly being blinded by your upbringing, by your childhood, by your mother and father's beliefs, values. expectations. So really what I'm trying to say here is there's dissonance here that needs to be worked out. There's imbalance here. It's affecting you in this life, and there's going to be some sort of message here to try to find a way to build a bridge to disconnect from the expectations of the mother, father, being comfortable with who you are, that free spirit, what you bring to the table without trying to have to get them on board with you or to see it your way, or conversely to have them see, to have them pull you out of who you truly are, because who you truly are is this playful, free spirit. I just feel this really strong connection from as above, so below. Like there's something you're able to do there, something from the stars that you're able to bring down to the earth. I think it might be suppressed though because of these energies. We've got journalist Zebra Jasper investigation. Do you objectively observe circumstances? Release perceptions influenced by others. Observe situations from a higher perspective. Record your thoughts and observations without bias. Release ambiguity. Oh my gosh. Ambiguity. Sort through the details. Remain open to various opinions. Yeah, there's like a butting of heads and a clashing of ideas and opinions. I observe life from a higher perspective. Guidance and information flows through me. I am discerning, objective, and practical in all areas of my life. That line there, guidance and information flows through me. I do think you're able to connect something from the stars to the earth, like a channel, like as above, so below. It flows through me, like higher mind, wisdom, guidance from the stars, from your star being ancestry. There's something to that for me, and you are able to do this. And I think in giving yourself over to that kind of energy, you will gain a different perspective. And I feel like navigate the tumultuous relationships and connections within your family bloodline that's been happening, I feel like, through many, many lives and throughout the ages. You'll be able to help finally heal it or resolve it or come to some sort of agreement and understanding around it, where you're okay in who you are and you're okay with who they are and how they show up. Like an acceptance. This is what I'm trying to say. But I definitely get the sense that you feel like the black sheep, like the oddball, the weird one. Nobody really understands me. And it's playing out again. Ooh, thunder. Okay. Sound. That makes me think of the power of sound. And also thunder, right? It can rock us. It can shock us. So there's something to that as well for me, for you guys. And it's coming from the sky, thunder. I feel like this is an energy that you could actually use to your benefit in some way, as strange as that sounds. Like frequency, sound healing, thunder coming something from the stars in a way that benefits you more than it would like the average person. I also think there's a secondary message here that like the energy between you and mother and father is like a storm at times, and it's been rocky, and you've been in that storm and you continue to go in and out of it all the time. So finding a way to navigate that and bring it into balance. The time master. The master of time. And it also makes me feel like I keep thinking, I should have said it, but time heals all wounds. There is a time to have that happen there. And I feel like the time is kind of now for you guys, this call to action to start healing through some of this karmic energy, not by changing anybody or how they feel, think, or believe, but by being more open and accepting of the differences and appreciating them for what they are. I also think that you are the master of your time more than you realize. You're able to master time. Elemental energy as well with that thunder. I feel like the thunder is telling two stories, one of the storms within the family and the constant butting of heads, but also like your capacity to almost like manipulate it It's that as above, so below. I can call this energy down like powerfully, like a channel for it. I also think it means, I think I said this already, but the master of your, being the master of your own time, somebody who's able to almost manipulate time in a way that benefits you through really like self-mastery and manifestation. I don't know why I'm feeling that, but I definitely feel like that's a thing here for my message fours. Okay, I'm going to pull some more cards. A lot of interesting things coming through here for you guys. You know, I'm also getting this thought of wishing things could be different, like that happened in the past. Kind of getting stuck there, you know, going back to the past and looking at things that were not good for you as a result of things that maybe your mother and father did or said that have affected you, and needing to find a way to release it, to release yourself from that. And I feel like that happened here in this lifetime, but it's so deep rooted because of this issue going over and over lifetimes, just not being accepted and understood and feeling like the black sheep or the outcast in the family, that it's been difficult. But I think it's entirely possible for you guys to start healing and clearing in the now. Fulfillment, nice. Fulfillment of wishes. Wishes coming true. A big change on the horizon, and emotional fulfillment. I got to slow down because it's a cup, right? So something that wants to show up for you guys on the horizon. Your cup feeling full. Rebirth. Yeah. So this is coming out in the challenge position, suggesting that this rebirth, this new beginning, this mastery of your time and your emotions within the family has, I think, been part of the reason why you haven't experienced this rebirth, this new fulfilling energy. But this is about to shift and change. This is what it's feeling like for me. So long as you give yourself over to this work and mastering your time, like I said, I think that you can manipulate it more than you realize. And in doing so, you manifest really good things. A rebirth of situations, a rebirth in your family dynamic and your situations where there's this release of tension and no longer trying to change anyone and they're not trying to change you, like an acceptance coming in. What did I say? Spell, manifestation. Yeah, you've got this. You've got this ability. This is a gift, I think, from a past that's coming through. Not only with those starseed origins, this witchy energy or wizarding energy, where you can cast spells, you can manipulate the elements, you can utilize the elements to your benefit, you can master time and manifest with it. Like, there's something to that here for me. I feel like you guys have this spell casting witchy energy within you from a past life. It's like the witch doctor. There's something to that. Either way, this is something you're capable of doing, and you want to manifest for your best and highest good, and for the best and highest good of all in this situation, so you can finally clear this karma of kind of being the black sheep that plops themselves into a family that you just don't resonate with. Because again, it feels like it's been happening over and over and over again, but I feel like this can be broken. This karma can be healed and released. Okay, Watchtower of the West, autumn. So suggesting that there could be something coming in the time of fall. In the West energy, we've got letting things fall away, letting go. It's sort of making me feel that more than anything else, that you'll be able to let something go, that something is released from the situation, that is in fact when that spell has been casted, the manifestation and the work has been done, and everything feels completely different within the family unit again, more balanced, healthy. Yeah, I just felt compelled to look at the bottom card, and it says Austera incubation, planting seeds of this right now. This is where you're at, or where you're being called to be at this time. I haven't really looked at too many of the bottom cards, but I felt like I needed to with this one. Incubating. Yep. I feel like that's what's definitely going on for you right now. Let's pull some energy cards. star gathering, stars aligned, remembering home, soul family. Remembering home and soul family, very much connected to this galactic energy. You know, message 4, I think some of you are going to have sort of a powerful connection to the stars, as this says, remembering home, soul family coming in. Stars are aligning for that, almost like through meditation and manifestation. You know, with the spell casting, like you call them in and they show up, and it's like, wow, here's my community, here's my tribe. And I feel like not only are you going to do this from the stars coming in and you're going to channel this wisdom through higher mind, but I also feel like here in this earth plane, finding new people, new connections where you're like, oh my gosh, they get me. My whole life and all my lifetimes, I've never felt understood, seen, or like I belonged. This is about to shift and change for you, and it starts with you. You have the power to bring this in and manifest it. And I channel your home, channel your origins, your star, your place amongst the stars, who you actually are. Okay. Halls of learning, spirit guides, confirmation, and great lessons. Wow. Yes, this is what I feel like, channeling that. I think that you're a channel. I think that you have that witchy, wizardy energy with the capacity, again, to manipulate things, almost like an elemental too, right? But it's all coming from the stars. It's these superpowers that are going to be brought down in a very big way. And the saying spirit guides, confirmation, and great lessons, you're going to receive this confirmation. Yes, I am from there. Yes, I am channeling that. Yes, I am capable of manifesting this and utilizing earth energy to manipulate time and manifest desires and community and the right things and the right people. Halls of learning. And it says great lessons to be uncovered and understood as a result of this. You know, and I think the whole thing too with having hard relationships over your lifetimes with mothers and fathers and being plopped into a family where you are definitely not on the same wavelength, not on the same frequency, not able to understand each other, it has been for a reason and a purpose. Even if you can't see it right now, but I feel like you're coming into a time where this is all about to shift and change, and you're finally going to be able to build those bridges and clear this karma of constantly being, again, plopped into family lines where you definitely don't fit, and calling in higher beings, channeling their wisdom, channeling their guidance, feeling connected to the stars, to your soul group, your soul tribe, your star family. And then it's like that navigates your situation in such a good way that you find your way to those kinds of like-minded people here on this earth plane. That rebirth energy. All right, I'm going to cap this off with a final message. You know, I feel like there's probably a lot of frustration here for a message for us. Like, I am so sick of this energy. I'm so sick of these people that are my family. And I'm ready to just walk away and give up and done with it, but feeling like you can't. And, you know, I'm saying this to say that I think that because you're the one that came in here to heal this, as crazy as that sound, that's not me putting the responsibility and the onus all on you, but it's to say that you have the power to do that with your origins and who you are and the gifts and talents that you have. You have the power to be the one to help clear these lines. And it's not by changing anyone or yourself. It's by connecting to these energies, discovering them and being like, okay, I see how to build this bridge. I see how to go from shift my perspective and go into an energy of acceptance to make this situation much better and lighter. Intuition. Trust your intuition and know that what seems logical may not necessarily be right. The answers to your questions lies inside your heart. Endless possibilities exist for you. Stop trying to work it all out and feel your way through. We, your angels, will guide you. Trust your feelings. What feels right is right. No second guessing or questioning yourself. And you know, doing that, second guessing, constantly questioning all your motives, getting really indecisive, is often a result of childhood upbringing, being made to feel like we can't trust ourselves or our gut feelings or intuition, that we have to be more practical and logical than that. No, you don't. You have these superpowers naturally. They're coming from the stars, and it's time to connect to them. Okay, message 4. I am going to leave that there. I really hope all of you give yourself over to making space for this connection, because I think it's going to help clear so many tumultuous bloodlines over the millennia, over many lifetimes. It's going to be almost unfathomable at first, but I really think it's possible. Okay, I really am going to leave that there. Take care, guys.